Well, I thought, I may need to come out here and do a video, because they're saying now, allegedly, if Ryan Care / Trump Care does not pass today, could easily be 1,000-point drop on the Dow. The markets could tank. The same thing they said last time, basically. But it's funny because now this time they're replacing the one last time. And if we didn't pass the one last time, markets could possibly crumble. And they passed it, so markets didn't crumble. Although we did have the 777-point drop. Remember that one? But anyways, they're saying this time, with this bill passing, it needs to pass. Just like, I guess it was like last time. It needs to pass or else market could tank. The Economic Collapse blog with Michael Snyder. Member of Congress warns of 1,000-point stock market crash if Obamacare Lite does not pass. Again, Obamacare Lite is Trump Care / Ryan Care. Mainly Ryan Care. It's not really Trump. And again, I'll say it one more time. I should not have to be able to be the one paying for health insurance that I don't want and will not really use. I mean, I'll use it if I have to go, obviously, because I have it. But you have these high premiums, high monthly payments, and then, out-of-pocket fee is high, this fee is high, that fee is high. And you're telling yourself, I wish I didn't have insurance, I'd just pay for all this out-of-pocket. I've been better off for the whole year. $1,200 a month for my family every year. Every month. Do the math. So the fact that it's Obamacare Lite and they've removed that part, I'm all for that. However, this isn't the greatest healthcare legislation on the face of the earth by far. It is literally Obamacare Lite. And I'll say it again. There's not going to be a solution, because all the solutions that they want left and right have to do with handouts. What about this particular group of people? What about the really sick group of people? What about this group? And all those groups require subsidies, which is taxpayer-funded money. People need to be able to take care of themselves, by themselves or with family, etc., and not have to rely on the rest of your countrymen to foot bills for you. While simultaneously, you take that EBT card, Doritos, MSG, Monsanto's corn and wheat product, junky, such and such cereal filled with sugars, and of course, again, Monsanto's wheat, your filthy drinks. I gotta have my what do they call those stupid, cold coffees, the ice ones, one of those, the Frappuccino, the Mochaccino, get me going for the day. Hi, I'm J-Step4. I don't drink coffee, except for maybe once, twice a year. Maybe. I get up fine. I don't need, I'm going to get my coffee to start the day. How come I don't need that? And you want to know a secret? I am not out there running and jogging and exercising. I don't do any of that stuff. Number one, my foot issue, still have some problems there. So it's hard to walk for a length of time anyways, without it starting to get aggravated. Of course, I could do things at home that don't require my foot, or I could get on a bike. Bike pedaling is really good because I don't have to put pressure on that spot. But I don't. Why? I should, but I don't. Then J-Snip4, you should be, of all people, the one drinking coffee every morning because you are out of shape. Correct. So how is it even possible that I wake up fine, I'm not waking up, I'm so tired, I need my coffee? Because you're so used to drinking that stuff with your sugar and all that crap. You're getting your sugar high and then you're down. Just like drugs. Up and then down. When you wake up, you're down. I need my drug. Coffee. And I can hear all of you now sighing loud. J-Snip, I've been drinking coffee for 20 years. I just have to get my coffee. I just had to. But go ahead, drink it. It's there. It's been there forever. Millions of people drink it. They're not stopping because old J-Snip4 says he doesn't drink it. Trust me. Do what you gotta do. But don't you dare tell me that I'm responsible for your piss poor decisions, if you follow me. Not that coffee is a piss poor decision. I'm talking about everything. The food, the water, the things we drink, cigarettes, potato chips, all this crap. And I'm not talking about just regular potato chips. The potato chips, the Doritos and this one, MSG, Monsanto, GMO, that stuff. Because everyone's making themselves sicker, and we ain't got the money to deal with this. So we got to get it from somewhere. And you, Jason, you're a healthy dude. You're the prime candidate. Because you cost us almost nothing. You and your family cost us almost nothing for healthcare, needs. So we'd rather just take all your money and give it to people who need it. And they really need it. Yeah, they do really need it. They do. They really need it because they're really sick. But why isn't the government saying we're going to go after Monsanto, shut them down, we're going to stop, make it a law to make it a felony to do any kind of food modification, GMO, etc. Period. You will reverse the entire sick care industry rapidly. And while you're at it, the vaccines. We need to go after them too, autism and whatnot. That needs to be part of it. That's how you solve the problem. Not, we want money for free over here, we want money for free over here. What about the 70-year-old who has this problem? What about the children that are born with this? Again, they're all related to what I just said. Food, chemicals, etc. Anyways. Are we going to see a dramatic stock market plunge if the effort to get Obamacare lite through the U.S. House of Representatives ultimately fails? On Thursday, a vote on the Republican health care bill was postponed once it became clear that there would not be enough votes for it to pass. House Republican leaders are still optimistic that there will be still a vote on Friday, which is today. But that is far from certain. Many strong conservatives in the House are balking at supporting this bill because while it does eliminate a few of the most troublesome provisions of Obamacare, it keeps many of the elements of Obama's signature healthcare law that have proven to be popular with the American people. In other words, this bill is much more about tweaking Obamacare than actually repealing it. This is the first major legislative test for Donald Trump and House Speaker Paul Ryan, and so far, they are failing. House Republican leaders have gone into panic mode because a no vote could have some very serious implications outside of Washington. In fact, one member of Congress is warning, that if this bill does not pass, we could see the Dow Jones drop 1,000 points in a single day. Oh, let's do it again. Fear 'em up, baby. You Republicans over here, you guys want a market drop? Significant? I suggest you pass this law. Dems? Well, we don't care anyways. Yeah, forget you guys. Back to the Repubs, eh? 30-something of you holding out. You sure? This market drop, again, they're telling us now, they have been, the health of a country's economy and financial system, just look at their markets. If they have a strong stock market, everything else is fine. Really? It's that simple. And now we're using that as a tool, even though it's a lie. We're still using it. You don't want that market to drop. Faith and belief in the American system over here. If our markets drop, what does that tell the world about us? It tells the world what it's already been telling the world. This is a banana republic. Every number you see is a lie. The ship is sinking, and we're trying to pretend it's not. Okay. It happened in real life, this drop, in September 29th, 2008, when the House first voted on a Wall Street bailout. Oh, that's right, it was the bailout, not the healthcare. Bailout intended to stem the financial crisis. In a swirl of uncertainty, Republican members stampeded to no, defeated the measure, and watched the Dow tumble by more than 700 points. The same thing could happen on the GOP healthcare bill. A veteran member of Congress told CNBC on Thursday, but only bigger. If this goes down, we could take 1,000-point market hit, he said. To be sure, traders and investors tell CNBC the market likely will go lower if there's no compromise on Thursday, but the decline won't likely become near a 1,000-point drop. That would represent nearly a 5% drop in the Dow, a bit less than the 7% decline when the index fell 777. Oh, 777, remember that one? Points in September 2008. And even if this bill does pass, we are probably headed for some sort of significant downturn anyway. Sven Hendrick has just told CNBC that he believes the market could see a 5 to 10% drop in the near term. The market has enjoyed a stellar bull run, but a correction is likely looming, according to Sven, also known as the Northman Trader. A very long-term analysis of the S&P 500 in conjunction with a look at the CBOE Volatility Index leads Hendrick to believe the market could see a 5 to 10% drop in the near term. Now that's interesting, because the other guy I've been telling you about. Watch March 13th for market stuff. That may be a bad picture for the markets. And sure enough, we've had almost every single day down since then. And God help us if this Obamacare lite thing doesn't pass today. If this guy, what he's saying is true, a big old drop happens. And that same guy I was telling you about who said, watch the March 13th date, May 11th, he says, is even bigger and way more important. And it's likely to be very bad for the markets, he said. So we've got a little over a month or so for that one to come. But nonetheless, this guy's saying in the very near term, we could see a 5 to 10% drop. Well, sounds like it might be likely, huh? But fixing our failing healthcare system is far more important than trying to prop up the financial markets, and so the strong conservatives in the House are quite right to stand by their principles. Listen. Fixing our healthcare system is not more important than the markets. Don't you remember what I just said? A country's well-being, financial well-being, is depicted in its stock market. If it has a high stock market, the country's fantastic. Don't look anywhere else. But what about our $20 trillion debt? No, don't worry about it. Your markets are great, right? Don't worry about it. What about our tens of trillions of dollars in unfunded liabilities? See answer 1, or answer A. How's your market? Great. Nothing to see here. You're fine. What about the fact that it takes $4 of debt creation in the U.S. to create $1 in GDP? That's terrible. That's going to kill us. Again, sir, please see answer A. Your stock market's great. Nothing else matters. So, although he thinks, what is it? Fixing our failing healthcare system is far more important than trying to prop up the financial markets. Now, in all honesty, that's the truth. But in this world, that's backwards. Nope. Do anything for the markets. Forget everything else. Simply tweaking Obamacare is not going to fix anything, and it's extremely disappointing that President Trump and Paul Ryan are advocating such an approach. Thankfully, there are a number of strong conservatives in Congress who are willing to take the stand for what is right, even if it means standing up against their own party. One of those principled conservatives is Senator Rand Paul, son of Ron Paul. And he says that right now there are at least 35 no votes in the House, and that would be enough to kill the bill. I think there's easily 35 votes right now, so unless something happens in the next 24 hours, so this was last night, I will predict that they pull the bill and start over. I think if conservatives stick together, they will have earned a seat at the table where real negotiation to make this bill an acceptable bill will happen. But it's interesting that conservatives are doing what? But it's interesting what conservatives are doing to change the debate. We went from keeping the Obamacare taxes for a year, hundreds of billions of dollars, but they're coming towards us because we're standing firm. So we have to stick together, and if we do stick together, there will be a real negotiation on this. The main goal I have is not to pass something that does not fix the situation. If a year from now insurance rates and premiums are still going through the roof, and now it's a Republican plan, it will be a disservice to the president and all of us if we pass something that does not work. If this bill is ultimately defeated, I have an idea. I think he meant what. It says that. What might work. Why don't we get the government out of the healthcare business entirely? That's Jason M4's answer. That's what I've been saying. Well, we got to subsidize these. These are the really sick. Yeah, but it's 5% of the population. It's 5%. And yet it's responsible for 40% of the amount of the fees we're paying. Like I said a million times now, 5%. I love you guys. I love everybody. All humans, all animals, creatures. I love everything. I love all of you. But I can't have 95% of the population paying a massive bill because there's an extremely sick 5%. We have a couple of things here. Either A, nature's telling us, Grim Reaper or God, God, it's your time. I'm trying to get you. This is my plan for you to die, make you extremely sick. And these idiot 95% of other people are fighting my will and making things very difficult for me. So that's one way to look at it. Or the other way is they're extremely ill because of the extremely disgusting things they're eating that they think might even be healthy, but they're being lied to. And the labels on the food and the drinks and things don't say what's really in there. Genetically modified this, glyphosate from Monsanto, that's not even listed because it's not supposed to be in there, yet it's in there because it's being picked up out of the soil and the rivers and, and you're drinking it and eating it, that sort of thing. So again, JSNP4 can fix all this. Get rid of Monsanto, genetically modified foods, their glyphosate, all that crap. And that'll be a massive, massive start. Second thing, chemicals, going back to the early 1950s, when they said not any chemical can be used in food. Then it turned into you can use a fraction of a percent of one chemical in the food, which then turned into you can use a fraction of one chemical and then any other chemical, the same fraction, as many chemicals practically as you want in the food, as long as it's under that one little piece of a percentage. Also, I can have a tiny, tiny percentage of this, and this. Correct. Yeah, all that got to go away. And then you'll start to find, and again, the vaccine issue, we've got to deal with that too. You'll reverse all of this. You're not going to have even this super duper highly sick people population of 5%. It'll come back down. Healthcare costs will come down because you have a healthier population. If you are force feeding somebody poison, literally feeding them poison, and they don't know it, you're just putting it in their food, their drink, just a little bit, and you will notice, they're getting sicker. They won't really notice it because it's happening too slow. But ultimately, they're going to realize I'm getting sick, I've got these things, I've got this problem, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I thought I was eating healthy, right? They're just completely confused. But you know, because I've been feeding them poison. The industry knows why we're all sick, but they don't want to talk about it because that's their profits. They can't cut into their profits. And as I said, profits, everything, it's all about money, profits, nothing else matters. And nothing else matters. Finally, once upon a time when we actually let the free market determine the allocation of healthcare resources, we had the best healthcare system in the entire world. But after decades of experimenting with socialist principles and adding mountains of rules, regulations, and red tape to the system, we have a giant mess on our hands. Either we need to go back to a free market system, or we might as well just go ahead and just socialize the entire thing. Right now, hardworking families have to pay for their own health care and also pay for the socialized health care that more than 125 million other Americans are receiving. Now remember, 5% of the 95 are super sick, very expensive. But this is saying, out of all of us, 125 million Americans are being subsidized. Meaning, you're helping pay their bill too, just not as much as the 5%. You're paying their bill too. Again, why do I have to pay for someone else's piss poor decisions? And then you go on Facebook to tell them, listen, the crap you're eating and the stop with that. Enough already. Oh, this is the Fukushima. It's not even that big of a deal. It's already settled years ago. There's nothing wrong. There's massive meltdowns over there. Each robot they send in dies. It's heavily armored robot to look inside and try to, it died again. Well, let's build another one. It's even more powerful. Put it in, it died again. Massive radiation. It's into the water system. It's coming across the ocean. Oh, that's a conspiracy. And you think I want to help pay for these people's sickness? Because I'm the one who's awake and aware of this and trying to tell people? Oh, and again, JSNP, you're the least one who goes to the doctor, your family, for anything. We really like you. We want you to pay. Because we don't have to help subsidize you or even help pay any of your costs. You're pretty much sick-free. You're healthy. So a lot of working families are scared to ever go to the hospital because their insurance deductibles are so high, and yet their taxes go to pay for all the free health care that people on government system are receiving. If the government is going to pay for the health care for nearly half the country, why shouldn't the rest of us have to pay for ours? Why should we? What we have now is such a ridiculous system, and what President Trump and Paul Ryan are proposing is not free market in any way, shape, or form. So I say let this terrible bill fail, even if it means the financial markets will freak out for a little while. Hopefully, what transpires over the coming days will cause Republican leadership to go back to the drawing board, and a clean repeal of Obamacare would be a really good place to start. Couldn't agree more. Cannot wait to see how this day ends. Markets, did it pass, did it not pass? What do the markets think of it? Like the market, they're alive. What? Excuse me, market. What did you think of the? I have to ask. I can see you. Oh my gosh, you're drowning. You're drowning right now. Your head's barely above water. Oh, you didn't like that Obamacare vote, Obamacare lite vote, did you? Oh wow, poor market. You need some Monsanto GMO? What do you need to make you feel better? Vaccine? What do you want? The MMR shot? I got whatever you need. Whatever you need. I gotta pump you back up. Like it's just alive, this living creature. The markets faltered today. Oh, nonsense. Can't wait to see how this goes today, because I was reading some of the old Webbot reports last night, just searching for certain keywords, healthcare, Obamacare, things like that. And if I'm to believe what the Webbot is saying, as of last year, the reports were saying, it was talking about healthcare system, and at one point the word Obamacare, but just in general, the healthcare system in America is going to be experiencing a downfall in every way, shape, and form imaginable. So what I thought about was, well, if this healthcare bill passes, then how's that going to happen? But then again, it's nothing more than Obamacare lite. There's massive subsidies. It's the same damn problem. It's the same issues. But they took out the individual tax and company tax mandate, which is great for J-Step 4. But I'm the minority, right? It leaves everything else in place. And that little tax was extra money they were getting to help pay that fee for everybody else. So, my conclusion, it doesn't matter whether this passes or not. Healthcare is going to be destroyed one way or the other. And the Webbot, I think, called it out pretty nicely as I was reading some of those paragraphs and all the different reports about it. Not that there's a whole heck of a lot, but it pretty much spells the decline of American healthcare and everything you can imagine that ties to it. Can't wait to see how this ends today. Get that ball rolling, okay? Take care.